Hello, my name is Tina Abade and I'm a dietetic intern at OSF St. Francis Medical Center. Today I'd like to talk to you about proper nutrition during cancer. Nutrition is very important when you're dealing with cancer, and people will often have to pay special attention to their diet, making sure that they're including fruits, vegetables, and good sources of protein on a daily basis. Sometimes when you're going through treatment, that can be challenging. Some people may deal with side effects of treatment. It may not happen to everybody, and it depends on the person and the type of treatment, but it could happen. If that happens, it could affect your eating habits and the way that you feel about food. Two of the things that could happen is a loss of appetite or loss of weight. Those two things often go together, and the issues that we deal with one are related to the issues that we deal with weight loss as well. Therefore, the tips that I'm going to give you right now are good for both. The very first tip that I always tell people is eating 5 to 6 meals, smaller meals a day, as opposed to eating 3 larger meals a day. And that is because it'll help you feel less full, and it'll allow you to also look at a plate and be more willing to try it because of the smaller amounts. Another tip is to only have your liquids in between meals. When you drink fluids with your meals, it may make you feel fuller. So you want to avoid doing that. When you select your fluids to have between meals, so your juices or other fluids that you decide to drink, make sure that you're selecting higher calories and protein fluids. Those could include meal replacements or dairy products that are maybe a whole milk or a 2% milk as opposed to a fat-free milk. Having snacks handy is another tip that is good to do. If you have snacks handy and all of a sudden you feel like you could have a little bite, but maybe not a full meal, you're more likely to grab that snack than to go to the kitchen and prepare something. Those snacks can be ready-made, store-bought, or they can be things that you make yourself at home, where you can actually modify ingredients and make them a little bit higher calorie and protein. Also, in including higher calorie and protein foods, you may not be willing to increase the amount that you're eating, but you may be willing to change some of the ingredients, and that's what I'd like to talk to you about today. How to increase calories and protein in your recipes without having to increase the volume of food that you're eating. Often when you're not hungry, you may not want to eat that extra meal or two a day to make up for the calories and protein, and so modifying some of those ingredients can be your best bet. The way that you can do that is to use whole dairy products such as whole milk, whole yogurt, or cheeses made from whole milk. And you can also add those cheeses to your casseroles or to your salads and sandwiches or any other food. Another source of good calories and protein is eggs. The way that you can incorporate eggs to your foods is to chop up hard-boiled eggs and put it on your salads, or you can put it in your mashed potatoes and whip it together. You can also use eggs and other ingredients in recipes that call for other things. For example, you can make your oatmeal and cook it in milk instead of water, and that will add some calories there. If you choose whole milk, that will add even more calories. The other thing that you could do is drink a supplement, as I said, in between meals. Those can be really simple, and you can buy it at the store and have it chilled in the fridge, ready to go. You can do that instead of having a smaller snack maybe, and that will help you with added calories too. What I'd like to do right now is just take you through a recipe that is very simple to make. Most of these ingredients you probably already have at home. It's just a matter of choosing different versions of those ingredients to increase calories in this recipe. This is called Greek parfait. It's called a coconut Greek parfait, and that is because it has chocolate chips as well as some nuts in the recipe. What we're doing today is using a full-fat version of Greek yogurt, and the reason why we choose Greek yogurt is because Greek yogurt is actually higher in protein than your regular yogurt. By all means, if you don't like Greek yogurt, you could make this recipe with full-fat regular yogurt as well. For this recipe, we're using 2 cups of Greek yogurt, and I chose a plain Greek yogurt to go with it because we're actually going to sweeten it up with other ingredients. Also, in this recipe, what we want to do is use a half a cup of whole milk. The reason why we're adding whole milk is because Greek yogurt is a little bit of a thicker yogurt, especially when you're picking and selecting that full-fat version of it. The whole milk will add a little fluid to the recipe and make it a little bit more palatable. In order to sweeten the Greek yogurt, instead of buying one that's already sweetened, we're adding a half a cup of condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk. Condensed milk is a great source of calories. It's very high in calories, and it will add that little bit of sweetness to the recipe that we want. In order to increase the protein in the recipe as well as the calories, we're adding 1 cup of a trail mix product. For this recipe, I chose a trail mix that has nuts, cranberries, so you get a little bit of a fruit value to the recipe as well, and it does have dark chocolate chips in it. For this trail mix, I actually picked the trail mix Southern Grove brand from Aldi. It's actually very well priced. I believe it was $1.80 per bag, so it's very well priced compared to some of the other products you find out there. But you can definitely substitute this. If you have a trail mix at home that you prefer, you could use it as long as that trail mix has nuts in it and some other sweet factor to it, whether it be the cranberries or the chocolate chips. This recipe is very easy because all you're doing is mixing the ingredients. We're going to start mixing the whole milk into the yogurt, and you want to mix it until you get a very smooth blended product. Again, we're only added this whole milk to kind of thin out a little bit of the yogurt, but also because whole milk has the extra fat and the extra calories that we want to obtain with this recipe. Once you mix this in, you want to go ahead and mix your condensed milk. Condensed milk is very thick, so you want to make sure that you're truly mixing it together. You don't want lumps of condensed milk in this because then it'll be super sweet. So we're adding this half a cup and mixing it together. You'll notice that the condensed milk will actually give a little bit of color to this to the yogurt. The yogurt is very white, but with the condensed milk you get a creamier color to it. It also thickens it back up a little bit, so you have more of a parfait consistency to this. Once you mix it and it's very well mixed together and blended, you can see there's no streaks of milk or the condensed milk. You can go ahead and mix your nuts. I chose to add a cup of nuts or a cup of trail mix to this. You can add more or less if you prefer. The more that you add, the more calories you'll have because of all the nuts in it. But pretty much you're done. Once you've mixed it all together, you can serve it as 1 cup servings, and that will offer you about 435 calories in 1 cup and 16 grams of protein. And that for a snack can be almost like a meal replacement. So definitely a great choice. If you have the ingredients at home, you can, as you saw me mixing it, it can take just about 3 or 4 minutes to put it together. So it can come handy when you're feeling like having something but not a full meal. Definitely a good recipe. Again, just to repeat, we used 2 cups of Greek yogurt, and it was a full-fat plain Greek yogurt. You can find these at any grocery store, at major grocery stores as well as smaller ones. We used a half a cup of whole milk, a half a cup of condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk, and 1 full cup of your trail mix. And mix it all together. And that's it. For more information on recipes and ideas while you're dealing with cancer, please contact the Cancer Center for Healthy Living in Peoria, Illinois. Thank you.